It's Ask the Expert. Brenda Hollingsworth from OJ Hollingsworth is here. We're talking about being a good witness, and in fact, just on the commercial break, we were talking about the types of people, the types of witnesses that you'll get. The perfect witness is someone who says only what they know or saw. That's it. Just the facts. We've established that. Some people tend to want to please people and have an answer, right? So they stretch, and you call it fill in the gaps.
Right.
What other types of people do you run into that might be problematic?
Well, there is the person who is sort of the omniscient person.
Okay.
I saw the accident. I'm going to tell you how it happened, and there is no chance that I could be mistaken in any of my observations.
Okay, and so they're filling in gaps massively that way.
That's right, and they sort of see themselves as an expert and are quite offended when they're challenged.
All right,
Yeah.
I see. So it really comes down to the fact that it's a bigger situation than anyone in the courtroom. It's about serving the truth, right?
That's right. It's all about the truth, and no one will fault you for not knowing information and for not picking a side.
Yeah.
Including if I call you as a witness and you don't know something that would help my case, I'm okay with that.
Okay. And what's interesting when you say when you call and there's a trial, that you've already alluded to the fact that is a very small percentage. Most of these things are settled out of court.
Right.
Is that right?
Right. And in fact, we'll get names of witnesses from the police file. If I phone you or my investigator phones you and interviews you, that increases the chances that it's going to settle one way or the other, right? So if you participate in the investigation and we have all the facts laid out before there's ever any risk of trial, the chance of you actually getting a subpoena is extremely small.
That's interesting to me because what happens is the lawyers outside of the courtroom are trying not to waste the court's time and come to an agreeable settlement.
Oh, sure, and the economics dictate that too, right? The insurance company is not in the business of running trials for no reason.
Right.
If they're liable and we can agree on a number, they want to pay.
Yeah.
Well, they don't want to, but they do.
Right.
And similar to me, I don't want to fight something that I'm not going to win.
Right.
It's not good for my client. It's not good for me. So
and it's not good for the court system at large,
No.
really, right? So if you can, so that's interesting because you're looking to expedite the process, and lawyers are very good at judging as well, right? Judging what's going to happen in a case.
Yeah.
And so you would think to yourself, well, we're going to lose and we're going to pay court fees.
Right.
right. That's not what you want.
Yeah, we're not in that business.
Yeah, gotcha.
So, everybody has risk in a litigation situation, and the more we know about the facts of a case, and that a lot of that comes from third-party witnesses, the more we know, the easier it is to negotiate a settlement that actually reflects the risk to both the victim and the insurance company.
And I think the larger the city, probably the less likely it is to get quality witnesses of people who will stand up, just because there's that anonymity. But when you talk about, let's say, if someone slips and falls outside of a business, you're working to make the world a better place, right? You're working to make sure that people know that this is not acceptable.
Well, that's right. Like, if you're the person who stands up and says, you know what, that lady fell and there was no salt and no sand, that is actually helping correct a problem, because next time it could be your mother, it could be your child.
And that's exponential because obviously people follow precedents.
Right.
And so another business might say, do you hear about down the street? We better get the salt out there.
Yeah, no, that's right. I mean, it really is important to make proper observations. And if you notice something in advance, it's helpful too if you let people know, like, let's not ever have the accident.
Right.
Exactly. Sidewalk defects, salting, sanding, those are basics that really, in this city, we need to be aware. There are tons of slip and falls in this city. I get, starting in about 2 weeks, our phone starts ringing and it doesn't stop until April.
Isn't that amazing?
And with, broken ankles, broken wrists, like not just I got a boo-boo, like serious accidents that
take you out of your job.
Yeah, that's right. People are out of the workforce, and it's not like a car accident where they get income replacement and that kind of thing. You're paying for physio, you're paying for your lost wages if you don't have coverage.
Well, that's the other thing, is like your lost wages and child care and how to take care of there's a balloon effect to a physical injury. We rely, I think, more than we think on our physical bodies for everyday work.
No, that's absolutely right. So, I mean, as a community, this is a treacherous season. I mean, we all have to make sure we're not wearing stilettos in the snow. Like, there's basic things that we all have to do to look out for ourselves. But at the same time, if you're a business owner, you want to make sure that you've done what's necessary to keep your property saved.
And if you've seen something, be a good witness and stand up and say it's not right, or I saw what happened here, and just give the facts. That's the lesson for today from Brenda Hollingsworth from OJ Hollingsworth. You can always get a hold of him at 613-233-4LAW or askbrenda.ca, the two best ways to go about it, or there's the email and address. Thanks very much, Brenda. Appreciate that.